Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back after several months to Carbon Racing Series. It's certainly been a while, and it's been an entirely new game. Welcome to F1 2022, as I keep calling it. I know it's officially F1 22, but I can't stop calling it F1 2022. I am your host, your commentator for hopefully most of this season, if not all of it. Still Guns. And we are here at the Bahrain Grand Prix circuit for the first round of Season 5. We have what looks like going to be 17 drivers tonight. Not a completely full grid, but enough drivers that we should be able to use the full qualifying setup. Actually, let me just check how things are with this audio quickly. It's fine. It will be fine. No, I don't want to leave. Press the B button one too many times and suddenly you're outside of the lobby where you don't want to be. Outside of the lobby, it's where the soft rains fall. Or however it goes. Probably some of you don't even know what that's called. What it's called, what it's from, what it's referencing. But let's not go into that too much. 17 drivers, almost all of them using the Steam platform. Only a single driver using EA Origin. And I think that is an old friend of ours, Weiss. I think that's Weiss anyway. I did get the stream notification, but for some reason I couldn't see it anymore. Oh well, it happens. So just waiting for people to load into qualifying. Oh, hang on. I should have got myself some water before I started streaming, so I do have some water, but it's in the grotty bottle that I use for making squash. I say it's grotty. It's not disgusting. It just has a strange taste on it. So I don't use it for drinking all that much. Anyway, too much information out of the way. Bring up all the relevant data. Don't need the telemetry. One thing to note for this year, just in case you didn't know, no one needs to start on medium tyres anymore. Or, needs to do laps on medium tyres. You can just start off on softs. Whatever tyre you want. There are no more tyre rules, no Q2 tyre rules or whatever. So that's nice. We have some cars taking off already, and the first car out on track is the Haas of Matre. I think that's how you pronounce that name. Could be Matre, or he could just go by Matt. We'll call him Matt because it will probably be easier. Though I'll probably inevitably end up calling him Matre at some point. Next out on track, it's Luke GDI, a name who I think was someone who was racing in Season 3 back on F1 2021. Been a while since we've seen Luke. Behind him is the McLaren of Z1 Hyper. Nice to see Hyper again, using the number 94. Behind that is Weisheim Hetmar, not Wissenheimer. Weisheim Hetmar. Or something like that anyway. Lots of people still just using the number 2. Stock default numbers. You know you can change that, right? Then we've got Quibus. Oh, we've lost Faco. Faco's had a disconnection or something. Quibus and Alfa Romeo. Behind that is Raijin 05 in the second McLaren. Behind that is Dan Edwin in the Ferrari. Certainly been a little while since I've seen some of these guys driving around. What number is Dan Edwin using? Number 2 as well. I would have thought he'd gone to his faithful number 13. Anyway, Matt is the first driver to start a flying lap. What's he going to complete? Sector 1 in 29.269. What can Luke GDI do? In the Williams, well, it sounds like he's getting a lot of wheel spin. 28.668, so Luke already on course for a decent lap here. We've got yellow flag in Sector 3, that's just Dan Edwin slowing down, I guess to make room for the Red Bull in front. The Red Bull of Ivan Hafterkamp, who is the reigning champion. After a rather chaotic Season 4. And a Season 3 where he almost won. Could have won anyway, but was not to be. But he did become champion in Season 4. So now it's up to him to try and defend and see if he can become the first multiple champion. But also other drivers in the hunt for that title. Faco and Lennart. Faco the Season 3 champion, Lennart the Season 1 champion. Where has Matry gone? Matry has gone P2. Luke has gone P1, provisional P1. Hyper, 129.5. Vizon Hetmar, 130.8. Quibus, going through turn 15 now, opens the DRS now, and across the line, 128.9. 9.52, so very close to Luke's time. Dan Edwin, I think he may have had an invalidated lap time as he is... Actually, no. That was not Dan Edwin. That was actually the second Ferrari of Lennart, who I saw on the main straight there. Dan Edwin, though, is about to complete his flying lap here. Hello, Jake. What can Dan Edwin do? It looks like it's going to be competitive. 129.1, so it is indeed a competitive time. And Ivan Hafterkamp, reigning champion, 1,000th slower than Quibus. So Ivan definitely in the hunt here for potential pole position. We'll see what he can do. Outlaps also for Cohen, who's already invalidated, but it doesn't matter. And for Best Racer 03, who I believe is Weiss. I'm pretty sure it's Weiss. I don't know why he's using this strange name, but whatever. Unless I'm all wrong and this is just a reservist who's Best Racer, but I'm pretty sure this is Weiss. Lennart, only driver on a flying lap at the minute, though that's about to end. Looking like it could be a stonking lap. What's it gonna be? It is provisional pole by 6. Well, actually, it's not provisional pole, this is just Q1. But it's still 6/10 faster than the next fastest driver. I wonder if that is a statement of intent that Lennart is definitely trying to win the championship this season. Something that the car he's driving in right now has not been capable of, mainly because of the team that built it. That's been a one travesty, hasn't it? Ferrari looked so strong at the beginning of the season, they all threw it away. Cohen then, Sector 1 time. Oh, there we go. Took a few seconds to pop up. What can the Mercedes driver do? I don't know if this is a reservist or if he's full-time. We'll see what he can do through Sector 1. And I'm not sure it's going to be particularly good. It's looking like it's 29.6, 28.6 even. So could be a competitive lap time here. I believe it's roughly in line with what Luke GDI was doing. We may have a late joiner. Jurassic Balaz could be joining later for the race. That will mean he'll start dead last. Weiss then about to cross the finishing line to set a lap time, 1:29.5. Yeah, pretty average lap for in terms of everything. In terms of the rest of the field at the minute. What can Cohen do? Taking a lot of the runoff. Going through turn 15 now, onto the final straight. Opens the DRS wide open, and it's a P6. 1:29.1. So he's lost a little bit of time in there compared to what Luke was doing. Dave in the Alpine, next across the line. And he's also P7, 1:29.4 exactly. The other Mercedes is just about to cross the line. That's Bradley. He was on a outlap there. The second Alpine of Jacob Adam Zach. We'll call him Jacob. Opens the DRS as he comes across the line to set P2. And he splits Luke and Lennart. 4/10 faster than Luke, 2/10 slower than Lennart. So Jacob here in possible contention for pole position at the very least. And Bradley's had a spin on his flying lap here. So things have gone slightly wrong for Bradley, who I believe was taking part in Season 3 and then buggered off at some point. For reasons that I'm not entirely sure. I think he just got bored. Oh, that was looking a bit wide for Faker, and Faker definitely not looking like he's got some... Yeah, his internet definitely not looking happy here. But he's about to start his flying lap, driving a Red Bull that's far too blue. It should be far more... It should be a lot darker than that. Or is that a lock-up? I don't know. Hard to tell sometimes. I really need some water. My mouth is already parched. Do you let me know how the audio levels are? I haven't checked them. Actually, I'll check them right now. Sounds okay to me, from what little I've heard. Anyway, Fakeaways. Heading down towards turns 9 and 10. Rather tricky corners, even at the best of times. And... I got the words all stuck. I knew what I wanted to say. The words immediately vanished as soon as I was about to say them. But, he did it quite nicely. Better than I would probably be able to do. Taking some runoff on the entrance into 12 as well. That's an unusual place to take runoff. Certainly not something I would consider doing, as he comes down towards turns 14 and 15. Might as well not even be a turn 15, it's just a kink. Opens the DRS across the line to go P3, but it's still 5/10 off of Lennart. That leaves Ryan Kennedy, who hasn't set a lap time yet, and Bradley, who is already on his way to setting a much more competitive lap time here. He's getting a bit of a slipstream from Cohen here. Very nice teamwork. Certainly something that I'm not capable of doing. Oh, almost invalidating the lap there on the end. And Bradley instantly goes P2. A lot closer to Lennart by about very close to 1.12 of a second. So 120, 1/10, 20 hundredths. I'm rubbish sometimes. Lennart on another flying lap now. He's just started, trying to improve that already impressive 1:28.3. Oh, but too much throttle on the exit of turn 1. That's that lap already ruined. Ivan has just set another lap time. He's improved by... how much was it? 132 over a second, so not bad. He's up to P4. Controller's being dumb again. Luke has not come out of the pits for another attempt. Maybe he thinks he doesn't need to. I tell you who is out on the track though. His teammate Ryan Kennedy has finally come out of the pits to show his mettle. Car number 66 is going to have to make way, I think, for... oh, actually no, he doesn't have to make way, because this car is on an in-lap, almost certainly. Certainly very fast in-lap. Yes, that is an in-lap. So, Ryan Kennedy will see what he can do in his Williams. Going down the main straight. Got to be hard on the braking zone around 100 meters. It definitely is. Taking inside the turn 1 apex quite nicely. Cuts onto the curbs of turns 2 and 3. Take a lot of runoff. On the entrance of turn 4, goes down to, can't tell which gear, it was gear 4. 4th gear. Then that's a 28.9 even through sector 1, through turns 5, 6, 7 and into 8. And hard on the power, down towards turns 9 and 10. Got to be quite delicate on the brakes here. Takes it very nicely indeed. Much better than what I could do. Once again taking runoff onto the entrance of turn 11. And then cuts nicely into turn 12. Doesn't take any of the runoff into turn 12 like Faco did. Also avoiding the curbs. Except on the exit of turn 13. On the power now down to turns 14 and 15, taking runoff again. Not quite as much as Faco was. Some of these drivers have been using a lot of runoff, so much so that they could almost invalidate their lap times. Ryan Kennedy only P14. So currently 2 drivers in the knockout zone. Visine Hetmar, who is going for another attempt here, but I think he's already run out of battery? Yes, he doesn't have any battery left, so he's, not sure what's going on there for Visine Hetmar. Dan Edwin, first man to retire from the session, as he believes he cannot improve, or is just not willing to improve, or whatever. Matt Trey, he doesn't have a lot of time to get out there and try and improve his lap time. He's currently slowest on track, 130.7. Visine Hetmar also has to try and improve. 130.5, these times are just not competitive. A few more drivers on outlaps, including Weiss. Oh, that's Hyper spinning on the exit of turn 4. He's got time to go around again, though. Ryan Kennedy has retired as well. So that could be a bit premature from Ryan there. But maybe he reckons he doesn't have the time. Actually, what's going on there? Has he crashed, maybe? No, he has just pulled off and retired on track. Both of the Alpines are going again, including Jacob and Dave, but I don't think these guys are working in sync with each other. Could possibly Jacob is possibly providing a slipstream for Dave, trying to help Dave get further up. In fact, that is certainly what they're doing. So they are working in sync. Just not that I can... I'm just not the best at seeing that. Weiss ahead of his teammate. Actually, no, behind his teammate, Ben Dixon. Looked at the wrong green thingy. He's currently just started his flying lap here. Oh, and I think things have gone wrong for Dave. So that's Dave in a precarious position. If these 3 drivers improve, Visine Hetmar and Matry, and you can see, oh, Weisenhetmer desperate to start his flying lap, and he's screwed up, and his car has become so angry that it's turned into a flying DeLorean, and that's Weisenhetmer out. So Matry will start his flying lap here, and if he can improve by at least 2/10, well, that's one position higher up that he has to start. So Dave, he's not going to get a lap time in. It's too late. Unless the game's going to be funny. In fact, both drivers coming in. But it should be fine for Dave. He should be safe. Matry, I didn't catch his Sector 1 time there. We'll have to see what his Sector 2 time is when he comes out of turn 12. He's the only driver who is really at risk at the minute. I mean, there's Raijin, who is just up the road. So Raijin could be at threat here, but so could Matry. Ryan Kennedy even. We'll have to see what they can do. What is Raijin's Sector 2 time? He has improved by half a second. Meanwhile, Matry has only improved by 1.5 tenths. So not an incredible turn of pace for the Haas here. Raijin, meanwhile, definitely going to throw himself up the order somewhat. I think he's just run out of battery. Was enough to at least get him up to P13. So that's Ryan at threat. Where did he go? Where did Matry go? Nope, Matry is still dead last. So he couldn't even beat Weisenhetmer. And hello, Pookie. Welcome back. It's a shame you're not racing for this bunch anymore. So, two drivers knocked out of Q1. Matry and Weisenhetmer. Next up, we'll have positions 11 to 15 decided. And it could be the same bottom 5 here. Ben Dixon, Cohen, Raijin, Dave and Ryan, but we'll see. Q2 will start momentarily, and I'm going to take a brief break to get myself some water. So, oh, yeah, back in a second. What was that? Ran over something. I know. Right. Right. Let me just take a big sip of my water just quickly. And wonderful, it spills down my chest. That's wonderful. Fortunately, I have a towel on my chair. Right. So, who was the first man out? I don't know. Who cares? It doesn't really matter. Someone who was out fairly early by the looks of things, Leonard. Season 1 champion. We'll see what he can do. Will he be able to go P1 again? Who knows? Maybe he'll somehow go slowest. I doubt it. Well, oh, but he did have a little wobble there. So can he fly? Or will he be down in the dumps? Let us see. Sector 2 will be completed in a 107.1. Don't know what his Sector 1 time was. I wasn't paying attention, even though I was at the screen at the time, the keyboard. Taking a fair amount of the runoff as it goes through turns 14 and 15. It didn't sound too happy on the exit. And 129.0, that's actually not that good compared to his Q1 time. Next up, it's Ivan, and he's immediately going to go better. 128.4. So Leonard, you know, he didn't have a particularly good banker lap there, but that's fine. It's just a banker. Leonard, I think probably actually on used tyres. That would make sense to me, as Bradley has gone slightly done a very similar time to Leonard there. The second Ferrari of Dan Edwin is approaching the finish line. Comes across the line, 128.8. So currently, it's Ivan who's got the massive gulf between him and P2. But is that going to stay that way? Because Faco is... actually, Faco's not had a very good Sector 2 there, so Faco probably going to go for it again. How much battery has he got? Yeah, he's... didn't have a particularly good banker lap there, but he's got plenty of energy to use, so he can go for another attempt here. Now, Faco, Season 3 champion, as I stated before, won it at the final race of the season after as I recall, it was a bit of controversy. Things did not go very well. Oh, controllers, please stop doing that. Thank you, controller. Nudge the cable and decides, no, don't do it again. Honestly, you nudge the cable on this thing and decides, oh, you disconnected me. Honestly. Anyway, Faco. We'll see what his Sector 2 time was, as I didn't see his Sector 1 time. Is he going to take runoff again? Yes, he is. That is a very strange line. I've never seen anyone else do that. 106.7, so that's probably going to be better than Ivan. Or is it? I don't know. Certainly going to be better than Leonard, who is in the pits at the minute. Almost certainly bolting on a new set of soft tyres. And I just realised that Faco is running with a number 19. I thought for some reason he was running with a number 18, but no, it's 19, as he managed to only do P3. And then he pretends to be the medical car. So, only one driver does not have a time on the board, and that is Dave. And everyone actually within 1.2 seconds here, though currently the two slowest times on the board, Rygen and Ben Dixon, much slower than the majority of the field. 5/10 for Ben Dixon, 6/10 for Rygen. Where's Dave gonna go? I think that's Dave on the way out right now. In fact, it definitely is Dave. So he's going to be on his outlap momentarily. Right, so... Just a bit of a waiting game at the minute, as Dave is the only driver who's going to be completing a flying lap anytime soon. Everyone else is on a flying lap, not a flying lap, an in-lap or out-lap in the case of Bradley as well. So Bradley looking to improve that 129.069. Probably, in fact I'd say almost certainly has fresh softs on. Probably did his first lap on used softs. Weaving down the road like he's trying to avoid a minefield. Or doing the autocross game mode with the sports cars, supercars or whatever. Which I've already stopped playing because there's no point in them anymore. Like, at least with classic cars, you could race them. But with sports cars, supercars, you can't even do that. You can do time trials, you can do the Pirelli hot laps things in career mode, and that's it. I mean, that's it. That's all you can do with them. And you know what? I partially blame Arava for that. Because Arava used to, in all his what I want to see in the next F1 game videos, he always said, I want to drive the safety car. And what happens in F1 2022? You can drive the safety car. Great. Dave, I just noticed, he's had a spin on the exit of turn 4, so that's not gone well for him. He's going to have to do another lap here. Is he harvesting? I can't tell. He's definitely not using his energy, so Bradley should improve here. What's his Sector 2 time going to be? He smashed his previous best with a 106. Oh, it was very close to invalidating, though. Must have been millimeters in it. You need to be so careful at this level that you don't invalidate. Oh, that is gonna... No, it's not an invalidation. How? So Bradley manages to go P1 despite the fact he went off the track. Great work, FIA. That was clearly legitimate. Oh, and Dave's tyres are cooked. He's got to come in, I think, and put on new soft tyres. Or just come out again on the same tyres and hope that they're still grippy enough. And I just saw a Ferrari go by. It was not Leonard. In fact, it was Dan Edwin. Quibus is also out on a flying lap. Yeah. What the hell am I saying? Oh, getting a bit of a tank slapper on the exit of 11. Bit of too much throttle. And he's gone wide as well. So even though that's not invalidated, that's ruined his lap. So he's got to go again here. Dan Edwin didn't see his Sector 1 time, got to him too late. I'd be surprised if Quibus manages to improve. He won't be, he's coming into the pits. As Leonard will be starting his flying lap now. He's currently in the danger zone, as is Ben Dixon, Raijin, and Weiss. Also known as Best Racer 03. And Dan Edwin improves his previous best by 5.5 tenths. He's got a Mercedes for company that doesn't want to give him a slipstream. Who can blame him? I mean, Mercedes typically always want to win everything. I mean, sure, that's the point of a Formula 1 team, as Dan Edwin goes 128.4. Still 5 tenths behind Bradley. I reckon a lot of people are coming out of the pits right now. Lennox improved his Sector 1 time by 2.5 tenths. We'll have to see what his Sector 2 time is going to be as he rounds turn 12, doesn't spin, 7 tenths quicker. This, I don't think, is actually going to be even as good as Bradley's time here. But as long as he gets into the top 10 and as it is safe, doing quite well for himself at the minute. And his time is going to be a 1:28.1, so that's only just over a tenth slower than Bradley. So a lot closer. Currently a Ferrari 2.3 as it stands in qualifying. No, that wasn't Dave who spun. It was his teammate Jacob who might be trying to give Dave another slipstream. We'll see. And Dan Edwin is retired before turn 11. Anyway, there's a Williams who's just started his flying lap. That's Luke GDI, who was looking a threat in Q1. Currently looking a bit like a limp noodle. I don't know why I said that. I had the word and it didn't come out right, so never mind. Wet match, maybe. Into turn 4. Sector 1 time is going to be 28.5, 3 tenths quicker than his previous best. So on track to improve. Got a Red Bull for company, but not for much longer as the Red Bull gets out of the way. I believe that's Faco. In fact, it certainly is Faco, as Ivan is retired. Through turns 9 and 10. And Luke opens the DRS as he makes his way down to turn 11. Now through turn 11. Won't take the inside runoff like Faco does. Or is it the outside? I don't know what you call it. It's sort of this transitional period between turns 11 and 12. As Lennox retires, he's happy with that lap. And Luke actually wasn't paying attention to what his Sector 2 time was. That's my mistake. Where will he finish this lap? He needs to best a 1:28.9. He does that, goes P4, but he's lost a bit of time somewhere, I think. Or maybe he gained it somewhere, I don't know. Jacob is not improving. Dave, 28.6 through Sector 2, so that should be... It should get him out of the bottom 5. As I think we've had a spin for Raijin. Yeah, Raijin's spun. He will not be getting out of Q2 here. So that's gone drastically wrong for the McLaren driver. Dave, rounding the final corners, will manage to put a time on the board. Where's it going to be? P11! It's first of the worst, basically. Oh yeah, it says unfortunate, but still, there was 4 tenths to be made to Dan Edwin in P10. What can Quibus do? He was 2 tenths quicker through Sector 2. It might not be enough. It is enough! That's pushed Ben Dixon into the... Actually, was he already... I think May was already in the top 10, so my mistake there. So really, that's the bottom 5 decided. Everyone else is safe. As Raijin, after spinning, will not... Yeah, he's 20 seconds down. Raijin is not a threat. And he comes into the pits. I would have just gone straight over the line. There's no point in waiting for the animations. Just press retire from... Just drive over the line and it will end there. So the top 10 will consist of Bradley, Leonard, Faco, Ivan, Luke, Cohen, Jacob, Ryan, Quibus, and Dan Edwin. But in which order? We shall see. And of course, knocked out. Eh? Why'd Dan Edwin get knocked out? Okay. So Dan Edwin has been shafted by the game, and he's been knocked out of a session that only knocks out 5. I have no idea why that's happened, unless he crashed. But I don't think he crashed. I could swear he just retired on the track, so... Well done, game. Fantastic coding. So we're only going to have a top 9 in qualifying 3, because the game evidently decided that 10 is too many. And this is why everyone else... The hell? Why was there laughing? That was strange. Yeah, this is why everyone else uses short qualifying. Full qualifying is just a bit broken. Yeah. Strange. Anyway, first man out on track is going to be Jacob Adamczak. Adamczak? Just call him Jacob. That's easier. Getting lots of wheel spin as he leaves the pits, and I can't... Yeah, there we go. Wouldn't let me change camera for some reason. He's followed by Quibus in the Alfa Romeo and Ivan in the one of the Red Bulls. We've got Bradley making his way out as well. And is that... In fact, it has to be done. It's the only bright red car out there now. He's shortly followed by Ryan Kennedy in the first of the 2 Williams. It's almost like it's 2012. Actually, no, not 2012. 2016, 2015, 2014, except when you do that. I don't recall Massa and Bottas doing that in there in 2014 to 16. 3 cars not coming out. Luke is coming out now. Cohen and Faco yet to press a button to turn a wheel in the session so far. Depends when they come out, I guess. Maybe they're going to try and give slipstreams to their teammates. I would have come out before now. As Jacob is the first man to set to start a flying lap here. He will set the benchmark unless he invalidates. In fact, guess who's coming out of the pits now? It's Faco. Coming out of the pits ostensibly to provide a bit of a slipstream to Ivan at some point in the lap. On Ivan's lap, anyway. And Ivan will probably try and return the favour when Faco starts his flying lap. Anyway, Jacob, stealing me, 28.399 was Jacob's sector 1 time. Managed to catch that on the stream just now. Through turn 10, which does not build Forza games, make Forza games. I don't know why I said build. If you get the joke. Anyway, sector 2 time for Jacob is a 106.495. That's pretty decent compared to what some of the other drivers have been doing. I've not been able to discern a pattern as of yet. I've not been paying attention to everyone's turn sector 2 times, as Dan Edwin has had a disconnection, possibly? He's left. We know that for much for sure, as Jacob sets the benchmark at a 128.352. Can Quibus beat it? No, he cannot, but he is pretty close. Only 400ths behind. Faco has provided Ivan with the slipstream that gives him a provisional pole. And Faco now has the favour returned. And Faco, well, Ivan even, darts out of the way. However, Lennart has gone just ever so slightly faster than Ivan has, without the benefit of a slipstream at any point on the lap. Ryan Kennedy will be next to set us a lap time here. Got all my words coming out at the same time, and it's currently slowest time we have so far. Luke will be next. 28.4 through Sector 1. And Sector 2 is a 106.4, so he's lost a little bit of time, I think. Could be on course to match Jacob's time, or at least do a very similar time. Going through the final corners, onto the main straight. Cross the line now, and it's P3, so it is indeed a fairly similar time to what Jacob did. Actually, a tenth and a bit faster. Two Mercedes. Well, Faco's going to be next. He got that slipstream from Ivan at the beginning of his lap. Where's he going to finish? No, he's lost time somewhere. 128.3. He may have had traffic to contend with. So currently, Faco only P5. Bradley comes across the line next. He's only P4 with a 128.3. And Cohen, he's not had a particularly competitive lap here. He's going to be slowest by far. Is he going again? Well, he's got only 50% battery, which is not enough in my opinion. He has to come in, I reckon, and just bolt on some new tyres and go for it again. He is trying to go for it though. And he is quicker through Sector 1 with a 28.4, but he just doesn't have the energy for it. He's going to run out of battery. It'll still be an improvement, but he's going to lose too much time when his battery will run out, and then he'll be left. Try to pick up the pieces, and he'll still be slowest. Still, we'll see what he can do, but his battery is already below 10%. He's going to run out before he reaches the end of this straight. 6%, 5%, 4%, 3%, 2%. Oh, still stuck on 3%. It goes sort of into dying battery mode, and yeah, he's actually coming in. He doesn't have the energy. He knows that. So, currently, the grid stands as Lennart in provisional pole, Ivan slightly back behind, Luke then 2/10 behind at P3, Bradley just a 600ths behind at P4, Jacob 500ths behind at P5, Faco, I think that's 8,000ths behind in P6. Then it's 300ths to Quibus, 2/10 to Ryan, and Cohen hasn't set a representative time. So his car is being wheeled into the garage right now, and they'll be removing those grotty old soft tyres and bolting on a brand new, fresh set of soft tyres. Nice and shiny. So now it's just a bit of waiting. Oh, actually, Faco is coming out. And so is Bradley. Trying to get their final laps in early without traffic, or with minimal traffic anyway. who will be next. 3 minutes of the session to go. And there is another car coming out. That is the Alfa Romeo of Quibus. Also on his way out. And then we've got a Williams coming out. And the Ferrari of Lennart. Cohen has his new soft tyres on. So he's coming out, as is Ivan. I think the only car left in the pits now is Ryan. No, it's not. It's Jacob. So Jacob, the last car left in the pits, and he's about to make his way out. So all 9 cars will be out on track momentarily. And the first car out was Faco, followed shortly by Bradley. Then there's Quibus. Then there's the 2 Williams, well, one of the Williams. I don't remember if it's Luke or Ryan, then Lennart, then the other Williams, then Cohen, then Ivan, and then finally Jacob. So, can Faco grab provisional, well, not just provisional pole, but straight up pole position? Can he do it? He crossed the line with about 1 minute 27 seconds to go. If he can do a 1 minute 27 lap time, he could potentially get another chance of going if he wanted to. Though it wouldn't be particularly fast. There's some time to be made up. Faco, what is his Sector 1 time going to be? Is it going to be an improvement? It is, but only marginal. Only 15 thousandths. To turn 8. Easy on the throttle, very little wheel spin. My controller wasn't vibrating a huge amount. Nicely takes turn 10 onto the second DRS straight, actually no, the third DRS straight. This sort of, I don't know what kind of straight you call this, a sort of drag strip straight almost. Through turn 11, takes that inside runoff area. Through turn 12, like he likes to. 106.352. He's 2.5 tenths up through sector 2. So he should improve, but it's not gonna be an amazing lap. I don't think. It might at least get him into P2, but we'll have to see. Opens the DRS, goes across the line. It's a 128.0. He gets into P3. Next up, it's going to be Bradley, who is going to 105.9 through Sector 2. So he's going to blitz Faco's time. This could put him on provisional pole. Opens the DRS across the line. 127.6 at provisional pole by 3 tenths. Ryan has spun. He's not going to be a challenge threat to anyone. Oh, no. Luke has not improved through Sector 2. Comes across the line, and he does improve, but not by much. Where can Lennart go? Lennart cannot improve by a huge amount. So I think that's Bradley on pole, unless Ivan has anything to say about it. Cohen is about to come across the line. 128.433. That's, in fact, I think he's had his lap time deleted. He invalidated it somewhere. And Ivan has actually had a spin or something. So Ivan will not be improving. So that is Bradley on pole. By 6 tenths of a... Not 6, 3 tenths of a second. My apologies. That's some worrying pace, I reckon. But Bradley, we know, has been a fast driver in the past. Been a threat, and if he sticks around, could be a threat for the championship. So there's your top 9. Your top 10 is Bradley, Lennart, Ivan, Faco, Jacob, Luke, Quibus, Ryan, Cohen, and Danadin will start P10. He got shafted, frankly. shafted by the game that decided it didn't want to put him into Q3, even though he earned his spot. Yes, actually, gonna be too late. Oh well. Cohen almost certainly has his lap time invalidated, even though I don't remember seeing the map being red. So, Spilling water again. Right, so I'm gonna have to contend with rubbish cameras on the restart. Jake Nilsson, thank you for following. I didn't actually expect that to show up at all. That's strange, because I'm not actually logged into the CRS YouTube, but not YouTube, Twitch, whatever. And Nebletic also following, thank you for that. And the race, no, that hasn't got underway. It's just the formation lap. It was just being strange. Let's bring up the lap data. Let's take a look at the tyres too. Majority of drivers starting on the mediums. 2 drivers on the hards. Jacob and Weiss starting on hard tyres. So Bradley leading the pack away on the formation lap. And we have not actually had Jurassic Ballas join. So, maybe he just wasn't able to? But then why is he playing? Odd. Who knows? We shall see. Maybe he'll join in the future, or maybe it's just a legacy and he just doesn't drive for us anymore, I don't know. Whoa! Hiccuped whilst I was clearing my throat. And hiccuped again. Now for a formation lap, these guys are going pretty fast. You'd almost think they were still racing, but they're not. Wow, I've got hiccups. So this is going to be an interesting experience. So, apologies, I'm probably going to be having some issues with my comment like that. Oh, God. Okay. Okay. Holding my breath usually works with the hiccup, so hopefully I'll stop hiccuping, but we'll need to be careful. The rest of the grid is forming up. A couple of drivers have failed with the lining up properly. You can't see the field properly because the game's being stupid. Not getting the proper starting camera, but we're 5 lights out. Lights out and away we go. And that's a monster start, I think, for... Is that Ivan? I think so. It's not getting a good camera angle. There we go. Now the camera angle has changed. Thank you very much for that, game. That was a brilliant TV direction. And that's Leonard. Actually, getting a bit of a tank slapper. Is he under threat from Ivan? In fact, he is under threat from Ivan. Ivan is ahead of Leonard. So this is one hell of a start for Ivan as he mounts his championship defense fairly well here. But he's still got a lot of work to do as Bradley, who is in a league of his own, pulling away. But we can see that the rest of the field is squabbling behind him. We've got times it to lead it by mistake somehow. Position changes down the field. We're still waiting for things to settle down as the first lap chaos gets, well, sorts itself out. Was that a bit of sparks? Yes, that was. Ivan already a second down on Bradley. Bradley might just take the championship all by himself. He could win every single race unless he makes a mistake. But he's a impeccably fast driver. At the minute, though, it's Leonard squabbling with the two Red Bulls. He's the Ferrari filling in a Red Bull sandwich. Faco getting a bit of a slipstream. Ivan does not look quite as fast down the straights. Leonard making a move around the outside, has to hold off for now though, but he's got the inside. That turns to the inside for turn 2, and he's got back ahead of Ivan. That was an incredible move. So Cohen has already had to pit. I think he may have had front wing damage or something. He's down 8 positions and he's dead last. That's promoted Vizine, Hetmar and Matre up a position each. Weiss Racing has stayed P14. Dave has lost a position. Vigin is up 3. Dan Edwards lost a position. Ben Dixon has got up 1. Hyper has gained 4 positions. Quibus down 1 and Ryan Kennedy up 1. Everyone else has basically maintained the status quo, even though for a few laps Ivan was in, well, actually an entire lap, more like Ivan was in front of Leonard, but that has changed. And I think Ivan is starting to lose pace to Leonard. The gulf between him and his championship rival from last season is growing. Oh, and there's been a spin. Visor and Hetmar has spun at turn 12, as has Weiss Racing. He's spun actually at turn 13. As Bradley, 131.7. DRS is now enabled. We'll get that on to the second straight here. Faco, but possibly under threat from Jacob here, though he could be putting his own teammate under threat here. 3 of the top 4 drivers, previous CRS champions. Season 1, of course, won by the one and only Leonard. Season 2 won by Gerwin, who does not take part in the league anymore. Season 3 won by Faco, and Season 4 won by Ivan. So who will be the champion for Season 5? Well, at the minute, it's not looking like it's going to be Vizine Hetmar. He's spun again, finds himself dead last. I think his tyres are cooked. Credit where credit is due. Now that Leonard is ahead of Ivan, he's managed to find a little bit of time on Bradley. He's gained to briefly within 1.6 seconds. However, Vizine Hetmar has retired. That could it's brought out a virtual safety car. Fortunately, not a full safety car. So that's going to neutralise the field somewhat. And I think just in time for Cohen as well, who's possibly had a spin at turn 10. Vizine Hetmar, if you're watching this, you need to know this. If you want to retire from the race, do so in the pit lane. Do not crash out, do not press retire when you're still out on track. Make your way to the pit lane, pull into the pit lane and press retire there. Do not crash out, do not retire on track. Otherwise you get situations like this, where we have a VSC. Fortunately, it's not a full safety car, but it still messes with the races somewhat anyway. And Hanges in the chat too. Been a while, Hanges. Wonder if you're going to take part again with your amazing man with a floating face. Doesn't need a balaclava or a helmet, he just needs his face without the rest of his head. It might be clipped as we get back underway. I was about to say that moment might be on part of this channel's clips. Or actually, it might not be. It might be on my YouTube channel's clips. Videos or whatever. Anyway, back underway. Ivan still gravitating around 8/9 of a second. But I think, I get the impression he may have built his car slightly wrong here. Though, he has managed to gain a bit of time back on Leonard. But as we can see, going down the straights, it's sort of... Actually, he is getting closer, so he does have a bit of a slipstream. Luke GDI also had a slipstream, as he's just got past Jacob for P5. Jacob, though, well, he is on the hard tyres, and he's got a bit of wheel spin too. Let's take a look at the tyres, yeah. Cohen went to the hard tyres for his pit stop. But otherwise, Jacob and Reese still on their hard tyres. Hyper. Ooh, that's looking unfortunate for Ryan. Oh, get rid of a tank sniper for Hyper. Almost went round. Lucky that he did not do that. Can be a quite evil corner or sector after turn 7. Let's bring up the telemetry. So, Hyper was on about 40% energy deployment remaining. Ryan has used up too much of his energy. He's already gravitating around 10%. He needs to recover his energy. But we're 5 laps in. There's been a spin. Dan Edwin has spun at turn 11. I don't know if he was collected or if he made a mistake. He's lost part of his front wing and he almost got collected by Matry in the Haas there. Charles Leclerc damage for Dan Edwin. He's going wide already. He'll probably have to pit to replace that. And I guess it was inevitable, but Ivan, actually he was outside of a second of Leonard there, but now he is outside of a second. He does get the DRS again, though. He was brief. Oh, Dan Edwin speeding in the pit lane. I think Ivan's chances of trying to finish at least P2 in this race are going down the drain, and it's looking like it's going to be a teammate fight between Ivan and Faco. And Ivan is in the same position that Ryan is. He's used up too much of his energy. And Ryan did actually lose P8 to Hyper there. Faco has 43% of his energy at the minute. He will have the DRS going down the second straight here. Not an ideal overtaking zone. But Faco will be trying to look at every overtaking opportunity he can. And he takes this unusual line again. Doesn't take the runoff like he was in qualifying. Odd. He's going to have the slipstream down to turn 14, and he will have the DRS. Is Ivan going to make it easy for him? They may be teammates, but, well, you know how things can be with teammates these days. Esteban Ocon in Hungary just a month ago. Ivan is not going to make it hard for him, though he has been allowed Faco to pass just before the DRS detection zone. So Ivan now gets the DRS, but it might not be good enough. Yeah, he's got to settle for P4 for now. Bit of a DRS train forming behind Luke GDI, 2.5 seconds adrift of Ivan. The top 4 in a bit of a league of their own, though, well, Bradley is in another league of his own. Leonard was catching at one point, but that pace has dropped off somewhat, and he's down to 2.1 seconds behind Bradley. The Alfa Romeo of Quibus here, gonna try and get past Jacob, but of course, DRS train depends on the setup of your car. Quibus losing time even with the DRS, so I don't think he has enough. I think he has too much. Oh, downforce as Jacob gets a bit of a wobble, and that's put him under threat again. And Jacob using his energy to try and gain back the time, but that is going to be crucial. I think this is Quibus. Quibus' best chance of getting past Jacob, as Faco sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, and he's actually caught up to Leonard. Incredible pace from Faco at the minute, though unfortunately for Quibus, he's not able to make ends meet for now. The DRS train is giving Jacob the DRS. Oh, we've got a yellow flag! And that is not... It was Ben Dixon. He spun at turn 2. And actually, I think there may have been a collision between him and Raijin. Fortunately, just yellow flags. Matry, actually, possibly going to be a threat on Weiss ahead of us. Oh, Dave, as... I'm not sure what happened to Dave there. I think he's missing an end plate. Is he? No, he's not. He's not missing anything. He's just slow through turn 4, and he lost the position to Ben Dixon again. Faco getting really close to Leonard here, but he's used up a lot of his energy to do so. Maybe it was a bit too early to use all that energy. We're only 8 laps into this 29-lap race. And Faco will get the DRS, but he's not really going to be able to use the energy much. He doesn't have a lot of it left. So he's got the DRS, and he's a little bit laggy as well. He's going to take a look. He is getting closer, but he won't be able to make the move on this occasion. Will he be able to make the move into turn 4 as he does get the DRS again? Got a decent launch, or traction at least, out of turn 2, but he's too far back to really make the move here. He can at least afford to stick behind Leonard and build up his battery, but that's just allowing Bradley to run off into the distance. 2.5 seconds ahead of Leonard now. Plenty of energy to spare too. Meanwhile, the gap between Ivan and Luke has grown even more. 4 seconds now separates the Red Bull from the Williams. And Luke isn't a bad driver, but it does seem that he's just not having a particularly great time here. He is, though, in P5, which is not a bad result. And he's holding up a grand total of 3 drivers. Jacob here, Quibus, and Hyper, who, after passing Ryan Kennedy a couple of laps ago, has caught up to this train, and he's looked like he was trying to make a move on Quibus there. And you can see Luke is just not using a lot of his energy at all. He'll probably try and use it down the main straight here, but he could have built his car in such a way that it's very undraggy, as I just saw that the Haas of Matry had a bit of a spin. Yeah, there's only 10 miles an hour difference between Luke and Jacob here, though Jacob isn't using his ERS. That's because Luke has plenty of it. Meanwhile, Faco wasn't able to make a move on Leonard either, again. Now, Jacob does have hard tyres. They're going to last longer than the mediums. Actually, Jacob did get a slightly faster Sector 1 through there. So a personal best through Sector 1. Slightly faster. But he's still got this Williams ahead, who does appear to be very slippery. And because he can't get past, no one else can get past. Everyone gets DRS. And it's a train that no one wants to be in. Well, Luke is fine with it, I guess. He's fine being at the head of the train. No one can get past him. And if no one could get past him, he's just fine here. Behind... Oh, I thought Hyper was spinning for a second. I keep thinking that they're spinning. But no, he was just going a bit wide. As Leonard is the first man to blink, comes into the pits for a fresh set of hard tyres. Nice pit stop. So, who will be next? He will have to contend with the cold tyres for at least half the lap. He's going to eject Leonard down to P11, ahead of Raijin and just behind Dave. And Faco, his pace is not particularly great, as Matri is the next driver to pit. The Haas going on to soft tyres. That's adventurous. I'm not sure that's the best call, because you're going to have to pit very soon again. Maybe he'll go back onto medium tyres afterwards, but a two-stop race is not really what you want here. Actually, Faco has caught up a little bit, I think. I'm not sure. Maybe he is, maybe he isn't. Certainly, the gap has fallen. Maybe it's at the status quo, I'm not sure. As Bradley now comes into the pits to defend, well, cover off Leonard. And also into the pits is Faco. Oh, and I don't think that's a good stop for Bradley, but then again, didn't look like a good stop for Faco either. Also into the pits, Hyper, putting on new hard tyres. Anyone else coming into the pits? Doesn't look like it. So Bradley comes out into the field ahead of Leonard, just where he wanted to be. Crucially though, Faco is also ahead of Leonard. So the undercut hasn't quite worked for Leonard. Leonard was P3, so where can Ivan end up as Leonard makes his way past Dave? Faco, though, is under threat. Leonard's tyres are going to be a lot warmer. Oh, and he makes a dive down turn 8 even. Oh, doesn't get good traction, though. And they're going to be fighting side by side into turn 10. This is something you only really see in F2. And Leonard does get the effective P2 back, but that's given DRS back to Faco. Ah, that's unfortunate for Faco. He was really close. He was ahead of Leonard there. He got the better in-lap. The overcut worked for Faco, but it's in the end, it's cold tyres let him down. As now, Ivan comes into the pits, as does Quibus. So where can Ivan come out? I don't think it's going to be ahead of Bradley. And indeed, it is not. Yeah, he's come out in essentially the same position, and it's status quo resumed. But Faco, how much energy does he have? He's using his energy. And he's going to make the dive bomb up the inside. Well, maybe not quite a dive bomb, but he's going to make the move. Can he make it stick? Oh no! Whoa, that was a bit of lag going on there. So actually, it wasn't Leonard spinning out. It was just a bit of a desync. Scared me a bit there. Faco has got ahead of Leonard now, but can Leonard get back past? We know that he can make these moves. He definitely wants a second championship, but then again, so does Faco. I think... No, Bradley is not held up by traffic. Currently leading the race then is Luke GDI, who was P5. He'll probably be coming into the pits for hard tyres any moment now. In fact, speak of the devil, he's coming into the pits. So he relinquishes his short-held race lead, and Jacob inherits it. Behind him is Ben Dixon, who will probably also be pitting. Yep. And where are things going to pan out? Oh, we've lost intervals. So Leonard right up the diffuser of Faco. He's definitely not going to give up P2 without a fight. He's got the DRS too. It's quite difficult to break the DRS chain margin in at this circuit. There's not too many places that are too twisty-turny like this where you could lose a huge amount of time. Let's take a look at the tyres briefly. Dave and Weiss have not stopped yet, so they will have to stop. Other than that, everyone but Dave and Matry are on hard tyres. Matry being adventurous with the soft tyres. Oh, bit of a tank slapper! Bad traction for Leonard. That's going to harm his race hit there. He's lost time. And that could allow Ivan to catch back up, but no, he's not lost too much time. He's lost a bit of work. But he can make up that time down the main straight here, and Ivan, crucially, isn't within the 1 second DRS margin. So he's going to gain time on Faco and drop Ivan a little bit. So not a massive disaster. Tyres won't be too cooked either. DRS opens again, down the second straight towards turn 4, and he's going to be clawing those tenths of a second back. Meanwhile, I think Hyper just got past Ryan for P10. Hyper, very... what's the word? Inconsistent driver. He can win races, but most of the time he just seems to be down in the midfield doing barely anything. I mean, sure, there's still two drivers who haven't pitted yet, Dave and Weiss. So Hyper is effectively P8 at the minute, but still, that's could be better. Oh, yellow flag, and Luke, the eternal P5 DRS train conductor, has spun and he's called it quits. Please don't call out a VSC. Don't think we're gonna get that. It's just gonna be double waved yellows. Luke decided to call it. I mean, that was very quick. He just had one incident and decided, nope, that's it. So very short temper on that one, I think. Leonard in a very similar position to Faco a few laps ago. Faco just had the DRS but didn't have a lot of energy to play with. Maybe he was just happy to sit behind Leonard. But the gap was sort of gravitating between 3 and 5 tenths of a second, but they just couldn't get past. And I think the same thing is happening to Leonard here. I wanted to keep on that camera, honestly. Jacob, yeah, I mean, he's obviously in the hard tyres, so he can afford to extend his stint. He will be on softer medium tyres as he pits now. So Bradley will re-inherit the lead, but Jacob's done himself a doozy and picked up a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. So this race, at the minute, completely belongs to Bradley, a man who simply does not know how to lose. Actually, he does lose occasionally, but he's so fast. 3.7 seconds separate him and second place Faco, and Leonard still right up the diffuser of Faco's Red Bull. Normally, dirty air would be coming into play here, but dirty air isn't really too much of a thing anymore. So the racing improved, or at least their ability to follow, but Leonard doesn't get great traction out of turn 8. His hard tyres, I wish I could see more data. I need to see more data. He did actually use his energy briefly there. And the move might actually be inevitable. I think he's getting a bit tired of sitting behind this Red Bull and seeing that great big word Oracle on the DRS flap. Faco definitely looking, not Faco, Leonard definitely looking a bit more racy, but he's cocked 13 up a little bit. And he's lost a bit of time. So it was looking like he could have got past, as Dave has lost out to Weiss, but Dave coming back at him. Oh, look at this! A 3-way battle for P5. 4-way battle! Oh, and that Weiss almost cutting someone off as he pulls into the pit lane and gets himself a 5-second penalty. Quibus might be about to take P5 here. He's going up the inside. What a move! I mean, Jacob is on brand new medium tyres. Dave is on old medium tyres. He's still going. He's extending that medium stint a long way. But Quibus should not be able to have won out on that one there. Ugh. Need to drink some more. Oh dear. Jacob, I wouldn't count him out. He's got that 5-second penalty, but his tyres are softer and newer than Quibus's. So what can the Alpine driver do? Well, he's right behind the Alfa Romeo, and I think the move is inevitable. He's got the pace, and he'll have the DRS. Oh, I thought Quibus was going to play a bit of DRS chicken there, but decided against it. Jacob is going to have the DRS. Is he going to use any of his energy? Well, neither of them are using energy, but it's going to be a done deal, I think. Quibus moves over, tries to break the toe, but Jacob is going to take P5, but just before the DRS line, so Quibus could come back at him here. But he's not using his energy, so maybe he just thinks it's a done deal and he's just going to stay there for now, at least. Just tired a little bit. So, Bradley has extended the gap by another 0.3. Faco 4 seconds behind. Just Bradley is Formula 1. Everyone else is Formula 1.5. God, I want to see the fastest laps at the minute. Faco actually has the fastest lap, so Faco does have pace, but he's not going to be showing it on the hard tyres, especially when he's under threat from a very racy Ferrari behind. Of course, Bradley has the better pace overall. Faco just set that one fast lap. Oh, I think Leonard going to try and make a move here. He was really close, but I think he's compromised his run through turns 2 and 3 a bit. So he got exceptionally close to Faco, but he just a bit too close maybe. Dan Edwin comes into the pits again. He serves his 5-second penalty for speeding earlier. And he bolts on, I think, a new set of mediums. No, soft tyres. Okay, that's adventurous. Dave and Hyper up 5 positions. However, Dave has just lost out to Hyper. And he still hasn't stopped. He's on ancient medium tyres, and I think they finally just dropped off the cliff, given how odd his car was behaving there. He's lost 2 positions. Oh, does he have a puncture actually? His tyres do not look healthy. Something is wrong with the Alpine. Now I know it can't possibly be a mechanical failure, but I don't know why it was going so slowly. He must have just reached the end of life with these tyres. He's gone too long on them. He's just losing so much pace, and he has to pit now. It's not a puncture at all. He's just got no grip. That's strange. At least now he can chuck on those brand new soft tyres that he wanted. Is it going to be worth it though? He's got a lot of time to make up if he wants to try and get past Weiss and Rygen for P10. I'm not sure going that long on mediums is really worth it. Faco has actually gained a bit, those 0.3 of a second back on Bradley. But as I say that, I think Bradley's gaining the time again. Or dropping him again, rather. Lennart still behind the Red Bull. Now we're going to ride with him here. He's used a little bit of his energy. He opens the DRS. Gaining a little bit. A little bit. Is he going to be able to make the move? He's got the inside. He's making the move now. But that's going to turn into the outside for turn 2, and it just doesn't quite work out just yet. He does get the DRS again down to turn 4, and this time he's using the energy, and Faco has run out of it. Faco does not have the energy. He does, however, maintain track position. Left the space for Lennart. Faco used up as much of his energy as he could, but now he's recovering, which is not a good position to be in because Lennart has quite a bit more. 20% more, to be precise. So, battle for P2 still fierce, but taking a while to do. Dan Edwin sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, 1:30.6, but that's not going to be a championship point for him. Ryan Kennedy also pretty close to Hyper ahead, but he's in the same position, and Quibus has managed to gain a lot of time with Jacob ahead. Seems his hard tyres coming into their own, or Jacob made a mistake. One or the other. Quibus, however, losing time again. Using his energy, actually. Wants that DRS. Will he have got it? We shall see. Yes, he has got it. Oh! Position change at the front again. Too distracted, and Faco, his lack of energy, has come back to bite him. Ouch, I just whacked the microphone stand. Ow. Got a hole in my leg now. And Faco has lost P2. Sorry, I didn't pay attention to the lead there. Ow, that really hurt. All I want for Christmas is a microphone stand that isn't going to try and murder me every time I try and move my legs. Ow. Weiss, meanwhile, has swapped positions with Rygen, as Dave gets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix now by 0.3 of a second. Faco still within touching distance of Lennart. He's not given up just yet, but this constant squabbling has allowed Bradley to pull ahead, or fall even further ahead, even. Almost 4.5 seconds the gap now. In fact, it is 4.5 seconds. What What can Faco do? He doesn't quite have the energy. He does have the DRS. He is pretty close. But he's not using the energy, and neither is Leonard. So Faco content to use the DRS, and actually he's closed it early. Oh no! There's contact! He outbroke himself and he's made contact with Leonard. That's not what you want to be doing. That will be investigated after the Grand Prix. And it's definitely not looking like it was a desync there. That's definitely contact. Wasn't like what we saw earlier. And that's a pretty naff way to end that battle. So that's basically, that's the, oh, hang on. Oh no, that wasn't Bradley, that was Cohen who spun at turn 12. I saw a Mercedes, thought, oh, Bradley, but no. No, it's the other one who's about to get lapped by Bradley. Matry also about to get lapped too, potentially getting close. Cohen's tyres are cooked. And Cohen, oh, yeah, Cohen made way, and that's his race done. His tyres absolutely smoked, providing a little bit of assistance to Bradley, actually. Gonna give Bradley the DRS. So Bradley could get a faster lap if he wants. Oh, Faco actually waited for Leonard and has allowed him back past, so now he can do the run legitimately. However, he's gained a little bit of energy back, and he's getting close again. Goes a bit deep. He closed his DRS early again, so he's quite happy to sit back behind Leonard for now. Meanwhile, there's a move going on down the field. Hyper and Ryan squabbling for P7. Hyper under threat from Ryan. Oh, I thought he was about to spin. Ryan, Hyper has the DRS, so Ryan was ahead of Hyper at the DRS line, the detection zone, and that's allowed Hyper to maintain his lead on Ryan here. Yellow in sector 2, Matry has possibly made a mistake, but not much of a big one. And the fight for P7 goes on. This is otherwise the closest battle on the track, compared otherwise from this one, of course. And what is Faco going to do? He uses a bit of his energy, trying to keep up with Leonard. That's Cohen going slowly again. He has been lapped completely now. And Ivan within a second of his teammate. But he's used up a lot of his energy to get there, so that's not what you want to be doing. And he's losing so much time as Leonard is being passed again. It's almost a Verstappen-Leclerc situation that we saw in the real-life Bahrain Grand Prix. And Leonard now behind Faco again, but crucially, as you can see from the red blinking light on the Red Bull in front, Faco has used up a lot of his energy. He was below 10% at one point. Oh! Bit of a snap from Leonard, but it's not impacted him too much. I thought he was going to be able to make the move into 8 again. Has to hold off for now. Ivan catching maybe? He's got to gain his energy back, recover it, but going down these straights is just not helping. He's trying to use his energy whilst he has none left, basically. Ryan still fighting with Hyper. And Leonard, he's got the energy to play with. He could make the move if he wants to. The gap, though, 4.5 tenths. Gains a little bit through turns 14 and 15. Actually loses a little. He's got the energy. He used the DRS even. He used a little bit of energy. He's going to be able to make the move. He's gonna make the dive bomb, he is! But it's gonna be the outside for turn 2 again. We'll have the DRS down to turn 4. Faco using what energy he has, and Leonard still has to settle for P3. This battle is going down to the wire. There was that collision, but Faco and Leonard, both very good friends, as in real life, as best I can tell. Faco waited for Leonard, allowed him to overtake again. And that is the situation was back to how it was, but now it's back to how it was before. After that crash, sort of. Leonard within 0.4 of a second. Bradley's got this. Meanwhile, there's no way he can lose unless he makes a massive mistake. If he crashes or something. Faco's energy on the cusp of 10%. He's going to try and use it down the straight. Yes, he is. Uses a little bit of it. He just doesn't have a lot of it left. Leonard's also used a little bit of it. He's going to be able to make the move. He goes to the inside again, but not on this occasion. And I think he's learned that trying to go around the outside of turn 2 is not going to help. He's got the DRS again down to turn 4. Is he going to be able to make the move this time? No. It's getting to crunch time, though. Penultimate lap. And the move has to be made at turn 1 of lap 29 of 29. That or turn 5. And if Leonard can't make the move at either of those places, that's basically it. There's only really one other overtaking opportunity, and that's the one we're going to now. And Leonard has actually lost a bit of pace. He's used up some of his energy trying to catch back up to Faco. And the gap is sticking there, but he's didn't have a great amount of traction on the exit of 11 there. And so the gap has grown somewhat. He's using his energy to try to keep within the 1 second margin. The gap did grow. It has shrunk a little bit. That's the word I was looking for. Shrunk. Gets the DRS again, but crucially, his energy deployment is at practically 0. I don't think he's gonna make an opportunistic move, and it conks to it, Faco. Oh, and that's allowed Ivan past. And now this is gonna be a surprise P2 for Ivan. And the two friends have collided again. Is Leonard going to allow Faco past? Yes, he does. Unless that was a mistake, but he's allowed Faco past, and now it's Ivan who will finish P2 unexpectedly. Unless he's got a bit of a tank slapper. He's not got a lot of traction. I didn't see this coming. Will Ivan let them pass? I don't know. I think he's going to want to be P2 here. He's not going to let them pass, even if it is his teammate and friend. Crucially, though, he doesn't have a lot of energy to play with. Puncture for someone, apparently. Leonard is out of the running for a podium. Not a lot of energy on either of these Red Bulls. Meanwhile, Bradley has just won the race by 12 seconds. Unbelievable. And Ivan picks up that opportunistic P2. Oh, what? Bradley had a penalty? What? I didn't see that. I need to check that out, because how did Bradley get a penalty? What the hell? He's losing so many positions. He's now like 20 seconds down. Why did he get a 20-second penalty? Unfortunately, I can't see why he would have had that. The game has given Ivan the win, but I'm pretty sure that Bradley is the winner. I'm pretty sure he didn't have any penalties whatsoever. I know he made a pit stop. He used both compounds of tyres, so that would have disqualified him. Why? He didn't have a drive-through penalty. Why on earth has it given Bradley what seems to be now a 30-second penalty? We need to see why has he got a penalty? I'm gonna have to be quick on the race director for this one. No, we're not gonna watch that. I don't think that's right. A lap down? What? He doesn't even have a penalty. It just decided to demote him. What? He didn't do anything. So yeah, that's just the game being absolutely stupid. Bradley was clearly leading the race. He won the race, but for whatever reason, it just decided that he needed to be P13. So I'm pretty sure that's Bradley is the winner. Ivan is P2, Faco P3. Bradley is the winner. He has to be. I need to confirm that, but yeah, absolutely. I'm pretty bloody sure that Bradley is the winner. Right, let me just find an image to throw up. Is it gonna be okay? Yes, that's fine. Right. So what on earth has going on? Yes, okay, Dave did have a puncture. It didn't show it up on my screen though, but he did have a puncture. Let's just see. Let us see. Can we agree that Still Guns is far better than the Dutch Viaplay commentators? I wouldn't go that far. I mean, they've got the experience for it. I mean, I have Asperger's, and you can tell just how much of a difficulty I have sometimes coming up with the words. Yeah, everyone's pretty sure that Bradley won. Yeah. It's just a bit weird. Okay, yeah. So Bradley did win. Gang just decided that it didn't want to give the win to him. This is F122, everyone. EA and Codemasters at their best. You win the In Soviet Russia, you don't win the race. The race wins you. Or something. Oh dear. But yeah, there we go. Bradley is confirmed as the winner. And that is confirmed as the end of the stream. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. We'll catch you next week at the same time, 7 p.m. BST, or British Summer Time, or 8 p.m. CEST. We'll see you then for what I believe will be the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Thank you very much for watching, everyone, and until next time, good night.